What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to take a look and a listen to Representative Captor. She's going to be talking about Social Security reform, mainly about the Social Security 2100 Act. And I'm continuing this series so you guys can see all the different lawmakers and how they feel about Social Security reform. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Threads, you can at the TEC Show Live. Also, on Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to be doing live stream talking about the headline news of the week. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a listen to Representative Captor. She's going to be talking about Social Security reform. Here we go.
Thank you, Ranking Member Larson, for yielding time and for your noble, tireless work safeguarding Social Security for the benefit of all Americans. For nearly a century, America has made a sacred promise. Those who work hard throughout their lives will benefit from the fruits of their labor upon retirement. Social Security promises a safe and secure retirement for tens of millions of Americans during their golden years. But without action, that promise is at risk. I hear from thousands of retirees across northwestern Ohio who want to see a responsible solution to refinance Social Security going forward. 1 of 5 Social Security beneficiaries are veterans. Let me observe, the billionaire class must join the vast majority of Americans in paying their fair share into the system itself. And by making that happen, the Social Security 2100 Act, championed by Congressman Larson and all of us, will increase benefits for current and new beneficiaries, protect retirees against inflation, and repeal the windfall elimination provision. We must push for a vote on the House floor as soon as possible. The Social Security 2100 Act is one of the most important bills before this Congress. There are 182 House co-sponsors of this bill, and Speaker Johnson, please move this bill to the floor for a vote. Social Security is an earned benefit, and America made a promise to workers, and Democrats are committed to making good on that promise. I'm the granddaughter of immigrants. They worked at the lowest wages and the worst jobs. First fired, last hired. They simply could not have existed if it were not for Social Security. The same is true for my parents. And you see, Social Security is not just a program. It is a trust, a sacred insurance trust. And that trust is intergenerational. I want to thank Congressman John Larson for your dogged, persistent efforts to move this issue forward. And I may be the only member here in this chamber tonight who was present in the 98th Congress in April of 1983, after I was first elected to Congress, and soon after became a deciding vote in April of that year for the refinancing of Social Security for the next generation. What an unforgettable moment that was. I sat right in that seat right there, and I stood and I cheered because we had fought so hard for that in the prior election. That close, eventful vote, so extremely important to refinancing Social Security for the first time in a generation, passed. And now Congress must meet its responsibility for the succeeding generation. The Speaker of the House back then was Tip O'Neill of Massachusetts, and we had a Republican president, Ronald Reagan. There had been a commission to preserve Social Security and Medicare before I became a member of Congress, and in the same way Congressman Larson has led this effort, this House had a member from Florida, Claude Pepper, who chaired the Aging Committee. They called him Red Pepper, and like Congressman Larson, he was a heart and soul Democrat from the inside and out, and just a great guy. We were able to move passage of the refinancing of Social Security for the next generation, and I knew that I had helped do that as a younger member. At that time, the country was also in deep recession, and we knew that Social Security as an earned benefit was paid through hard work, and it deserved to be lifted again. It also insures children whose parents or guardians have died, and 2/3 of families in my district rely on Social Security or Medicare benefits, and they are truly lifelines for millions of people. Medicare has worked too, and we need to do what is possible to make all health care more affordable for the American people. But we know the Social Security insurance program is something America can renew for all our families. We know it works, it's proven, and it lifts all boats. From an economic standpoint, to pull the rug out from under Social Security would cause not only harm to individuals, but economic harm in every congressional district in this country. People use Social Security to buy food, to pay their utility bills, to pay co-pays on their medical services, and for the basics of life. These aren't families that squander money, but they've earned retirement security, and they watch every penny. And we in Ohio want to express a special thanks to Congressman Larson for including in the bill the windfall elimination provision, which harms our working families so very much. This issue does not impact every single state, but believe me, it really impacts in Ohio. Again, I want to thank my colleagues for being here tonight with us, who champion protecting this earned benefit and social safety net. And I and all of us here stand with America's working people and retirees to protect and improve Social Security. Though each of us represents different communities, we all together represent America. And we know that with the unwavering leadership of Congressman John Larson, he will lead us to a day where Social Security 2100 is the law of the land. Thank you for your perseverance, Congressman John Larson, and for helping to move our nation forward to protect the hard-earned benefits for generations to come. And I yield back.
Okay, so that was Representative Captor talking about Social Security reform. One thing that really threw me aback is the fact that she's been in Congress over 40 years. I applaud her for being in support of Social Security reform, the Social Security 2100 Act, but that is a long time. We really need to start looking into some type of term limits for lawmakers, because I just don't see you shouldn't be able to make a career out of being a lawmaker. That's just my opinion. I think once you get there and you're there too long, it's just you're not effective anymore. I shouldn't say all lawmakers, because obviously she's doing some good things and she's supporting some good things, but just in general, having people in office for 40 years, it's just crazy to me. Now, I do understand we live in a democracy and you should be able to elect the people that you want to elect into office. And if she's doing a really good job, her constituents are happy and they keep reelecting her. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about 40 years. That's a very, very long time. But getting on to what she was talking about as far as Social Security, she did talk about the fact that they have 182 co-sponsors. Okay, now this bill, Representative Larson, he's a Democrat, so generally Democrats are going to support this bill, but you have 182 co-sponsors to this bill, which I think is great, because all you're going to need is you need to get to 218. So you are going to need to have some Republicans come on board and support this bill in order for it to pass the House. But what they can do, and I talked about this in previous videos, they can start it in the Senate. There is a version of the Social Security 2100 Act in the Senate. And if they could pass that in the Senate, then they can send it over to the House, and then the House can make adjustments if they want to make adjustments, some amendments to it, and then try to pass it in the House. There'll be more pressure that way, because Speaker Johnson is not going to bring this up. Okay? He's not going to bring it up on his own. So it's going to have to come from the upper chamber, bringing it down to him, and then he'll have to say, okay, well, I'm probably going to have to address this. But I just don't see Speaker Johnson actually bringing this up prior to an election. I just don't see that happening unless there's some pressure there. And so if you have everything there in place, you have the proposal right there, and it has an increase for people receiving Social Security, and then at that point, of course, the American people are going to be interested as far as, like, how are you going to move forward? We want this increase. And so that's what we have to see. We have to see that first. We have to see it actually get passed in the Senate and then brought to the House. But I want to know two things. I want to know how you guys feel about Social Security 2100 Act. So let me know in the comments below. And then also, are you guys in favor of term limits? Do you think lawmakers should be in office for 40 plus years? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.